Hello guys, this is Justin and this is my review of The Last of Us Remastered. Now, if you don't know what The Last of Us is from the PlayStation 3 version of it, I'll give you a little bit of the backstory. The year is 2013 and you're playing a character named Joel. Without spoiling anything, if for those of you who have not played it yet, something terrible happens to Joel in the beginning of the game. And then 20 years later, the world is basically apocalyptic now. I don't know if I did that right. But it's now run by these people known as either fireflies, by the military, by hunters, or by these infected. Some of them are called clickers. And your goal in the game as Joel is to smuggle this girl named Ellie to the fireflies for some reason. And that's basically your goal of this game. Without giving too much away, those of you who have already played it know what I'm talking about. So I've been told by a lot of my friends to play this game as soon as it hit the next gen, because I never played The Last of Us on the PlayStation 3. So now I finally have my chance to finally play it, which I did, and talk about it, which I'm going to do. The Last of Us, to me, well, before I go any further, somebody told me that this game is the best game of the last 2 decades. And I can honestly say that The Last of Us is a very good game. It's very good. But best game of the last 2 decades, I can't agree with that. I'm sorry. Now, let me start off with some of the positives of the game. Because I played it on the PlayStation 4 and never playing it on the PlayStation 3, I really can't compare with current gen and next gen. I'm pretty sure there's not a huge difference, but it does look incredibly beautiful. The voice acting in the game, Joel is voiced by Troy Baker, who is becoming very popular. He was Joker in Batman Arkham Origins. He's been a lot of people. He's even going to be in the new Far Cry game, which comes out in November. I don't know who plays Ellie, but she looks like Ellen Page to me, to be honest. But the voice acting is really good in the game. The acting is good in the game. The gameplay where you carry a backpack and you can fill it up with like lots of guns, lots of resources. You can collect stuff along the way to craft like bombs and smoke and all that stuff, and like health packs. It's pretty cool. It's actually kind of unique in a way, and sometimes the game is not an action game. At times it forces you to be stealthy. In fact, about maybe 75% of the game forces you to be, well, it doesn't force you, but it urges you to be stealthy. And which, that's not a bad thing at all, because you want to save your ammunition, save your health, save your little knives that you can create. You know, you have to be smart about playing the game too. The story is just the same old story, but it's done in a different way, where it's now a grown man with a 14-year-old girl being the partners, which I've seen that before. Like, where I don't know who the creator of the game is, but I heard that he was immensely influenced by The Road, and you can honestly tell that because of the imagery, the characters, the way they act, the way they bond with one another. Except The Road was darker, in my opinion anyway. And that's kind of my biggest problem with the game too, from it being perfect, is I've seen this story before, actually multiple times in fact. In fact, this game actually came out when zombies were such a huge thing. And at that point, when The Last of Us came out, and I was already like zombied out. Like I played so much zombie crap, and then this game comes out now. I know people say they're not technically zombies, they're sick people. They're zombies. The other thing too, and I'm not going to blame the game on this part, I think the hype got to me a little bit, because since I never played The Last of Us on the PlayStation 3, I've heard so many people saying how like it changes gaming forever. It's like it defines where video games can go as like an art, and this and this and this and this and this, and I am now playing it a year later, and I just got sick and tired of just listening to that, and now when I finally play it, I see what they're talking about. It's just I just heard about it too many times, and I just got sick of it, and I knew where the story was going to go. I knew what character was going to do this and that. This game reminded me a little bit of seasons from The Walking Dead, where you have really good episodes of The Walking Dead, and then you have boring parts of The Walking Dead. Like, there are some boring parts in this game where they drag on and on and on, and it's just, I understand they're trying to build character, but but some of the character traits in here are unnecessary. Like, there's parts where Ellie like tells jokes and stuff like that. It feels like it's just kind of there. I guess it's like an extra thing. Maybe I just bumped into it on accident. And characters like some that are cool. Like, there's this character named Bill in the game. He comes and he goes, and you're like, well, he's a cool character, but he just comes and he goes. Joel's brother, Tommy's in the game for a little bit too, and I don't even remember him, to be honest. In fact, I don't even remember that part. I think what defines a game of being one of the best of the last 2 decades is stuff that will leave you remembering this game forever. To me, I remember certain parts, but not all of it. To me, it just feels like another zombie story, and it's told better than others. There's also a multiplayer mode. I played a little bit of that. I think that games that are centered around single player should not have multiplayer. It feels forced. Like, for example, Dead Space 2. I love that game, but why was the multiplayer in there? It was terrible. It was terrible. Like, Dead Space 3, it doesn't need co-op. It's a single player story, and you just made a co-op. It's stupid. But yeah, this game, I understand where all the praise is coming from. I get it. Like, but when people start saying they've never seen a game like this before, it's just, no, you have seen a game like this before. Instead, in your eyes, it's done a lot better. To me, I have seen this type of storytelling before. It's just with beautiful graphics, good voice acting, and some cool gameplay parts. To me, I think it's a really good game. I'm glad I played it, but I'm not going to, like, remember this game in the next few months. Unless I play it again. But that's about it. So I think that's about all I have to say about it. So I'm going to give my rating. I'm going to give The Last of Us Remastered an 8 out of 10. I think that's a fair score. I think it is a very good game. If you have not played The Last of Us on the PlayStation 3 and you just bought your PlayStation 4 and you don't have any games, or you don't think that there's any good games for it, this is a one that you should buy because it is a very, very good game. You should at least try it out, see if you agree with all the hype. If not, I wouldn't blame you, but if you do, I wouldn't blame you either. So that's in my review of The Last of Us Remastered. I hope I cleared some things up. I hope I made some good points. If not, that's your opinion. But that's all I have for it. I enjoyed it, and I'll probably play it some more. I just don't think it's the best game of the last 2 decades, but that's just me. Well, thank you guys for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, subscribe, and I will post more videos. As I always do, I do movies, games, sometimes music. So if you're into that sort of thing, subscribe to my channel, give me a like, or give me an opinion, because we're all made of opinions. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Justin. Take care.